next week, right?
This is
Or no, it's like a few weeks from now.
6.
All right, hey, speaking of 6, this is 76.
Yeah.
And this is,
come on. Give me. 76.
76.
Episode 76.
I'm talking about smoking stories.
6 smoking stories. All these slithery. All right. So we're gonna talk about smoking stories. Promo, Chris, y'all want to start off? Wait, can I start off?
Go.
Because the first smoking story will actually connect a lot of other smoking stories. So I remember this one time I had just started smoking weed with one of my coworkers at work. I had just started smoking weed in general, but this guy, he always put me down with weed. You know what I'm saying? He was a cool dude.
Was it like Reggie back then or what?
Nah, it was good. I jumped in at the game at a good time. It was still Kush. You know what I'm saying?
Lucky.
Yes, I am. So he introduces me to this coworker of his. You know, this guy named Nick. You know what I'm saying? I always thought this guy was, you know, he showed me him at work, and I'm like, oh, it's the little Asian guy. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was legit Asian. You know what I'm saying?
People think I'm an Asian, but I'm really high.
Till he speaks. You know what I'm saying?
Then they're really confused. They don't know what the fuck I am. At
To
that
me,
point.
y'all both look Asian.
So, man.
Bitch.
Because it's not a bad thing, but it's because the peninsula, or what was it? The Bering Strait, that we're like really connected. That's why Native Americans and
Remember that time we got high and Chris thought we said we're Asians?
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Fucking racist.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, it was pretty crazy. I felt like it felt like this is my drug adventure because I go from my job to my homie's car, and then we go to his apartments apparently, and then we get in the back of a Jeep, which is his. I guess that was his car. So I've jumped to 3 different vehicles now. You know what I'm saying? This to me seems real like, damn, we have trained vehicles to get high. Like, damn, y'all, this is drug.
That's real old school.
Yeah,
style,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so he whips out a backpack, and in his backpack is a bomb. You know what I'm saying? And it cup in a bottle of water.
Nice.
And they hit it. I didn't because I was very much a rookie, but I was smart enough to know that if I hit that would be the end of my whole day. So anyways,
so what were you used to smoking at
pipes,
oh.
You know, little one hitters. You know, I had just started. You know, like I was getting babies.
Because everybody starts with something different. My first time getting high was a blunt, so I was.
Yeah. I got lucky that the guys who I started smoking with, they were really cool. They were like the nicest people you could ever meet, bro. Like they did not judge me at all. They never made me pay because they were like, bro, you take one hit off of whatever we pass around, and then you fucking pass out. You know, you don't have to pay. So
not even $1?
Nah, they wouldn't take it. It's all good. Here you go. I would bake for them. I cook for them sometimes. Yeah, I became like the mom or the dad or whatever. And that's a whole nother story, right? But and then we end up going in this pad. And I don't know if we smoked in this pad. I think we did. I don't remember. I guess I was already pretty high. That secondhand smoke from the bong and the Jeep probably. I was already fucked up. You know. Thinking of that, I think a lot of events get mixed up. But then I just remember that towards the end, like everybody's gonna leave, and I can't because I'm couch locked. You know what I'm saying? I'm the rookie. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like so I'm like, damn, I can't drive. You know, I can't go anywhere. And so basically, like, we ended up trying to come to the agreement, like, can he stay here for a little bit? And this fool, like, he's like, yeah, I don't wanna. You know what I'm saying? I don't know this fool.
To my defense, I barely knew this fool, and
he looked Asian.
No, it wasn't that. It was how do I put it? It's not a call of a meth head or anything, but when you deal with a meth head at home and they have these random motherfuckers that just come into your home, and
you're traumatized already.
I'm already like skeptical of a lot of shit.
You don't really know, and he can have a bag of heroin and they're just waiting to do it and then freak you out.
Plus, my mom would start tripping too, because I mean she never met this fool either. And knowing that we were high, yeah, she probably.
And you're super paranoid.
So anyhow, he really did not want to let me use.
He's like, if this nigga can't hang, why the fuck is? Oh, shit.
I know, right? That was kind of his tone. He was like, man, why'd y'all bring him anyway? He was gonna pass out. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm 50-50 on this.
Says the guy who now passes, who in the future became the guy who always went to sleep. Now he's the guy who's off. You know what I'm saying?
I do work like 10.
And we don't judge him. We don't judge him.
At that time,
we don't be like, why'd you come? Why'd you come? You still fucking nap? You know what I'm saying? No, we don't do that.
But we still like your presence though.
Yeah, you know
luckily, we're not like weird white guys that draw on you.
The snoring is reassuring. Yeah, he's never woken up with dicks on his face. I mean, either drawn or real.
This one now. Yeah.
So anyhow, that's the point. This fool, the No Smoking Story, is the first time I got really fucking high off a bong. And
so you didn't even hit the bong?
No.
So what did you smoke?
I think
at the house though.
I think I had to fake like barely baby little piece there.
You were already feeling it.
Fucked up. I was fucked
Was it a real bong or a water bottle?
No, it was an
bong?
actual
It was a
bong.
real bomb. It was a real
But you
bomb.
had the water bottle ready for
Yeah,
them.
yeah. He'd empty it out probably because he puts it in his backpack. So obviously, if the backpack moves around, you don't want the water sloshing
Yeah,
You
around.
don't
and
want that
Smart.
shit slashing around.
That
so-
stinky water.
You already
yeah,
experienced a
You're
little
trying to
bit
hide the
at that
fact that
time.
you smoke weed. That smell is just
I was
Yeah.
maybe a year into smoking. I think.
Oh, okay.
2 years into
that
smoking.
gunky, funky smell. You know, it smells like pond water. But no, it's not. That's
Mm.
herb. That's weed. You know.
Oh, I
And
hate
then I have a
breaking
jar
the
in the
bong.
front pocket too.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me.
What?
I know you hate breaking a bong.
Bro, I freaking so
Oh,
many
dude.
bongs.
Is that even a smoking story? Because you at least said you were high when you broke the
Were you
bong
with-
that your two best friends bought for you.
I assume I'm always high most of the time. So it couldn't have been, because I don't know. I
Go
think I
ahead,
was
say
already
what
high.
is your smoking story?
Well, I wanted to ask. So
Oh, ask him.
Because like a year prior to you smoking, you started smoking. What was your first way of getting high?
Wait,
I've already explained this.
I don't think he started smoking the year before him. He
Well,
said-
you
No, I
not a
was-
year before, but like you had already been smoking for like a year.
I
by
think
the
for
time
way
y'all
more than
clicked
that.
up.
You smoking since you were 15, though?
Yeah.
See? Yeah,
16.
He's been smoking since a while when I met him already. He was
I
already.
used to be real negative on the whole
yeah,
shit.
him and that dude were already stoners, like legit stoners. I was still like very.
I
green.
still remember the first blunt I rolled looked like shit.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even use Swisher Sweets. I had to use something easier because Swishers at that point for me were
Too hard.
they're too hard for me to break down. I always fucked up every blunt. So I used zigzags.
Break down? You didn't know how to break it down?
I didn't know how to break it down.
Like you didn't use a knife or anything?
No, nah.
Cause like before you get experience with
What
the
did you
pinching,
do? Wait, what did you do?
Use my fingers.
What do you mean? You would try to poke out the tobacco?
No. No, he
No.
he does it the way
No.
that he does now. How we like you lick it and then you use your fingers to pinch and break it, right?
the-
But back then he didn't know how to do it right. So when I didn't know how to do it right, I would use like a knife.
So what would you do then? That's what I'm saying. What would
He
you
would fuck it all up. It'd be
Yeah,
Oh.
I would tear, the moment I would get here, I'd press too hard
Yeah.
and it would just rip in half in my hands.
Ah, okay.
With zigzags, it already had a line for you to go down. But when I started with swishers, I would start breaking it and then I'd start trailing off. I
It'd be,
finally
it'd be
learned how to
like a
hold it.
fucking dead rug, animal rug. or
Pretty
something by
much.
the end, yeah.
And so, but eventually now I've learned how to do it right.
Right.
And whatnot. But
Right.
yeah, the beginning stories of me rolling blunts was very weird.
Why would they have you rolling them? Like what? Was nobody?
Because
else
I didn't
able
want
to
nobody
roll
rolling my shit.
them? Oh, because you started buying your own and then rolling.
Because I
your
kind of
own.
got jealous of Gibby. Because he knew how to roll good ass blunts.
Gibby is his best friend since high school, right?
He was one of my best friends. Huh?
There you go.
Yeah.
And,
So Gibby.
So he got you started on green.
Him and my homeboy Lewis.
And they would roll blunt. That's all they would smoke.
Nah, we would hit bond. My first time smoking, I hit at a fucking, I think it was a few, 3 or 4 foot bond.
But it's easier to get rid of a blunt at home. Like you didn't want to keep it like in the beginning.
No, I just love
Yeah,
smoking
when we
blunts.
smoked at his house, we get that smoke on the patio. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't want that shit in his house.
Right.
We would take a bong and we would do the backpack thing. Same thing. Do the backpack thing. Just go outside like that.
Yeah. It wasn't better. It was much better than me hitting a bong, but it stunk.
Yeah.
And I would come in there fucking
Yeah.
reeking, boy.
Man.
Yeah.
Here's,
hotboxing was-
here's a smoker's tip. If you're married or you just want to hide it from your parents you still live with, get a windbreaker jacket when you smoke.
Yeah.
The smell, and then put it on before you're gonna smoke your blunt or your joint. And then once you're done, take it off. Put
Get
it
this.
in. Put it in. And
Put on some gloves.
Get some 420 eliminator, which tries to eliminate most of the smell.
Hey, that smoke buddy really works. I mean, some people think
Yeah.
it's tedious, but at the end of the day, if you're really trying to hide the smell, I mean, bro, what
I
else?
think
Yeah.
incense works
Yeah.
incredibly.
Nah, my dad called them devil sticks.
Yeah, some
That shit
people.
was
Yeah,
funny.
I remember that shit, bro.
That gave it away.
We had kitted him out with a nice incense burner. We had got him a whole bunch of like incense sticks, you know, so he'd be ready. And then he's like, my dad called them devil sticks.
He called them devil, and he knew what was up. He wasn't fucking retarded. He was like, this motherfucker. I know what you're doing.
Trying to smoke in this fucking house.
Well,
bro.
it doesn't cover it up from not knowing that you're smoking. What I meant was the smell.
Yeah, I feel.
Like it helps with the smell.
I feel-
It does.
I feel what you're
Yeah,
saying.
That's just my little side story with it.
No, but I understand because I forgot. I try because I'm not putting it because when I used to like try to hide it from my parents, that was some stressful ass time.
I tell you,
Yeah.
remember the last episode we talked about with money? I can tell you the one game that I was making bank off of, easy,
What's that?
Oh yeah, that's a smoking story. Go ahead. Shit.
fucking Madden.
Who was he?
Y'all get real high.
No. This is
I'm
not
not
me.
gonna put his name out.
He used to have a plug that he would say, "Hey, bro,
I go kick it with
yeah,
him.
hey plug, let's kick it. Hey plug, you want to play some for Madden? And if I beat you, you give me some free weed." Plug's like, "Fuck yeah, I do." And yeah,
Boy, we would play Madden, like back-to-back games, best 2 out of 3. Because it was one day I went over there, he was just sitting there playing it, and he fucking sucked. I was like, "Hey, you want to play?" So we played, and I won 17-14. But he felt like he did so good that he thought he really could beat me. He's like, "Bro, I'll put a gram, I can beat your ass." I was like, "All right, fool, let's go."
He lured him in. He baited him in like, hey, I'm only this good. Probably smack. What was the score of the next game?
42-20.
Told you. See, he just baited him.
And then
but
we
he
would
kept coming
just
back
keep
for
going.
more.
We just kept doing it. And I'm like, "You want to bet a gram I can beat your ass?" It's like, "What's up, fool? Let's do it." I'm like, "It's all right."
Well,
So
would you say that's a smart individual who does that?
No.
Hey,
I went from spending like, I would always get at least a half every week.
for free?
Just playing games.
No, I had to pay for it.
But how much you give for free?
I started just how much I get for free now. After that point, I started getting a quarter.
So he started getting half of his daily, weekly bud for free, just hustling his phone Madden. What a dumbass.
Hey, I mean,
the
but
plug
look,
is
at the same time though, maybe he just wanted somebody to spend time with.
he's so.
he
I'm
was, like,
buying
giving
your
him
time
weed.
with
I
weed.
mean, I don't
Hey,
know.
no, I've known worse.
Yeah.
I've known
Bro,
more
my
desperate
homeboy-
people. I've known
Yeah.
people, yeah, bro. I've
My
known.
boy Lewis would laugh at me
Yeah,
every time.
it's sad, bro. That should be on the money episode.
It's good that he wasn't like a real gangster one though.
He tried to be.
The one because he didn't like fucking shoot you or something for beating.
I remember his plug one time. We were smoking with him, and you know the day I decided he was an idiot was one time we were smoking, and he looks up. It was raining outside, and he just happens to look up, and you know like he's really deep in thought, and then he comes down from it. And he looks at everybody in the room. And he goes, "You know what, bro? I wish I was a rain cloud."
I remember that.
That's what he said. And I said, "Wow, this guy controls the selling of all this weed that I'm looking in front of me. Like, man, if I was another motherfucker, I'd jack you, fool. You know what I'm saying? He was that stupid."
He did get jacked.
Oh man!
He got jacked by the cops.
Oh, there you go.
And the whole reason his dumb ass got caught was not because he was doing something. Well, he was doing something stupid.
Selling weed to kids.
Yeah, those little kids came over there and wanted to smoke.
Fuck?
And he looked at him. He was like, "Ain't y'all supposed to be in school?" He's like, "Nah, bro, we're off." Dumbass believed it. Fucking SROs came over there looking for him. They found him there. Stupid motherfucker, bro.
I remember around 420, one time at Garland High, in front of school, this dude was like smoking a joint out of like the brown paper from the restroom. And they're just like, it's pretty wild.
I remember me and my boy Bronx. We found a sack of weed in the hallway.
Was he from New York?
Bronx?
Yeah.
Nah, he from Nolens. From New Orleans.
What the fuck? Why is his name Bronx then?
Only in Mesquite.
No, I call him Bronx. His
Why?
name was Bronxton.
Okay, that makes sense.
But
Makes sense.
he's a cool dude, man. He found a sack, and somebody knocked on us,
Oh,
and so I had it in my bag.
oh.
They took Bronxton because they said he picked it up, but I put it in my bag. We're gonna smoke that shit after school. Fuck it.
See,
And he didn't snitch?
it sounds like
He didn't snitch me
It
out.
sounds like you getting caught with marijuana is like a story, a theme of your life. There is not. Have you gone more than 2 years at a time without getting caught by some law enforcement people with
Yeah.
weed? Recently, you mean?
Yeah, it's been like what 4 or 5 years now.
Hey man, it's off the record. If it doesn't exist, what do you mean? What are you talking
I
about?
haven't. Yeah, it's been since then.
What are you talking about? It's off the, I thought you scrubbed it from your record.
Yeah, they did. So it's been 4 or 5 years since incident.
Since his last incident with marijuana and the law
Now,
enforcement.
well, the last time I ran into the law, and I knew my car stunk. He didn't give a shit. He just pulled me over because he thought I was doing something more stupid, but he just saw my inspection was out, gave me a warning for it, and just dipped out. He ain't mess with me. He ain't do anything.
That's
So,
awesome.
but
Yeah, I've been blessed and lucky as fuck with my instances with the law. With weed. 'Cause one time I was at Duck Creek, like off Duck Creek, and I was at the park. And it was nighttime. I had the light on. Because my parents didn't know I was smoking, so I would smoke and then I would write music. And so it's like all cloudy in there and shit, just so obvious, right? And I got music and shit. And this cop pulls up, and I see the bright ass light, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I see a bright ass light on this side. I'm like, oh shit.
Damn.
And I just hear, I was like, I don't know which side to open up. And then he said, it's this one. And I was like, all right. And it was a black guy. And he said, look, man, I don't know what you're doing up in here. Maybe it's just weed, maybe it's something else, but I'm gonna give you one ghetto pass. You need to get the fuck out.
The cop told you this? Man, that's a real cop.
Yeah, ghetto pass, bro. I never heard of a ghetto pass before, bro.
Hey,
Like,
yeah, that cop's an
thank you.
angel in disguise,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Jeez Louise.
Yes, sir.
If only that's what that cop had given you, a ghetto pass, we'd have been good.
I've had a few give me some.
Oh, there.
I've had
He did. He had a cop one time. See, look. He won't, oh no, that's not a smoking store. I wasn't high. I was at work. He wasn't high. He couldn't get high. He was trying to get high when he got an aider, and then he got an aider like the afternoon before. And the next day we're at work. He comes to work and says, "Hey, bro, we need to go see the plug." I'm like, "What you mean? We just got your bud." He's like, "No, I don't have it anymore." Turns
that
out-
cop was cool though.
Yeah, see, that cop also chose to basically give him a ghetto pass by like, "Give me your weed,
Because
or I arrest you."
he followed me out of where I always come out of. Like, cause there's somewhere in Mesquite where it's dark lit. There's a bus stop, like for Greyhound that they pick up people and they'll drop people off or whatever. There's like a towing company over there, like little
South
industrial.
Dallas, bro.
Yeah, I mean, but you can get out and get to the highway, get to the service road going out that way.
Yeah.
I didn't give a shit, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. Well, this cop saw me. I saw him. He was sitting on the highway, just sitting there. And he saw me, pulled out, and fucking got off and started following me. And what he gave me was there had been a lot of reports of somebody stealing, so they were setting up over there. Like they thought I was the guy that was stealing from back there. And come to turn out, I had an eighth of weed on me. So even the cop felt bad. He was like, all right, well, I'll give you a choice. I'm gonna take your weed, you chunk it, and I'll let you go to work, or you can go to jail for it. And I was like, man. So I chose the latter. I dumped my weed and I fucking went to work.
and
The next time we got caught, it was ×2 that amount. It was a quarter.
yeah, my sister got caught with some, and they weren't so nice.
How much was it?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I remember this one time I was smoking with Kiwi. Man, I have a lot of smoking stories when it comes to cops. This is
I
not
think she
good.
was. I'm gonna take that back because I don't want to put that out there. She
That's
was.
not wood.
Do you want to tell it or not?
No. I'm just saying I take it back. I'm trying to knock on wood.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
But
Which is stupid. I'm not even because.
no, this is stupid too. I know a lot of stupid shit, but it's probably why I'm more of a cautious smoker now. It was when I was 18. You know, me and my boy Gary, we were driving to my boy Lewis's house. Cause his parents were gone, so we were gonna drink some of their wine and order pizza, go kick it over there, right?
Wine and pizza? And weed?
We were young, we were 18, bro. We didn't give a shit.
18 drinking wine. I was drinking. What was I drinking? Four
think we were
Locos
gonna
and
drink.
Mad Dogs and shit.
I don't know if it was
20s.
wine, but we were gonna drink something. But
I mean, I guess you're drinking whatever you can get a hold of, right?
Lewis said his parents hadn't left yet. And so we're like, well, fuck, we wanted to smoke. And he didn't want to smoke. So he was like, well, fuck, just figure out somewhere to go smoke. So we're like, fuck it. You know, we thought we were going to just roll one up and then drive around and smoke it in the car. Gibby didn't feel like doing all that. So we're like, man, fuck it, let's just pull up around the corner.
Mm.
So we pulled up around the corner to one of his neighbor's houses. And they called the cops on us. And we didn't realize it until we saw somebody get in and out of their car, and then we saw lights. We're like, fuck.
Hey, sucks.
We were sitting there smoking a blunt, and then we see that, and all I hear Gibby tell me was, eat your weed. I'm like, what? What the fuck do you mean eat my
That's
weed?
the first thing the weed lawyer says not to do.
He says, eat it. And so I didn't. I just kind of like stuffed it in my jacket. He came up to there. He asked us what we were doing. He's like, oh, we're just hanging out. Gibby ends up telling him we were smoking. So he's like, give us your weed. So we give it to him. He dumps it out in front of us. Then he yells at us, trying to teach us a lesson.
Yeah.
He's like, next time I catch y'all out there, you know, I'm going to put y'all in cuffs. We're going to be, you know,
We're gonna beat your ass like Rodney King.
not beat us, but, you know, we're going to take us to jail and this and that. And I get the fuck out of here. So we left.
Nice.
And we ended up chilling with Lewis that night. We ended up just going home. Smoked another blunt, then we went home.
Jesus.
Bro, there was these two rented cops that used to post up at this school by my house. And I used to go there to smoke, right? But one time, I also had I also got caught by those same two cops with my ex, and they said. So the first time they caught me, I was hooking up with somebody, and then the next time they caught me, I was smoking weed. And so when I was smoking weed, they said, "Man, you got to give us the pipe and the green."
Fuck.
Damn.
Shaking you down, man.
Yeah, or we're gonna call the cops, like the real cops.
The real cup.
That's what, or they said we're gonna call for backup, but I think they were renting cops. And then, so I was like, alright, man. And I had this cool ass glass pipe.
I'll break you off, man.
Right, let's work together, bro. Good story, man. But then they asked me if I was the same guy from the last time, because that time it was me and two girls.
And you said no, right?
And I said no.
Okay, good.
And they're like, nah, it was you. We remember. So I think it was like super bad, bro, because they caught me having a threesome at that park, and they told me, hey, if we want, like, because you're at a park by a school, you would never be able to pick up your kid from school again. So you can't be fucking.
Damn, this is
parks
like a movie.
next to school.
Negotiate.
And I was like, oh shit, okay, my bad. We didn't know
Look
that.
at your pipe, like, what the fuck?
And then the next time they're like, hey, it was you, bro. Like we went. I was like, nah.
Damn, man.
Like, well, give us the weed and we'll let you go. And I bet you they're smoking my weed.
Yeah, I bet you one time, I was in Mexico. I remember one time, I bet you, period. I remember one time, I was in Mexico, and my uncle, who I'm the coolest with, he knows I smoke weed. He's like, hey, you want to get some weed over here? And I'm like, you know where to get some? And he's like, yeah, come on. So we get in there, so he drives me around, and I shouldn't have paid attention to what the scenery, how it was changing. Because next thing I know, he pulls up, we're in some back alley, and there's a group of kids, like maybe 15, 20 of them. Kids, bro, I'm talking like no older than 15. Like, and they've all got guns.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. And I'm sitting there in this car like, what is this fucking, like this is like in Africa where they have child, the children that they kidnap and make them soldiers.
Damn,
right?
it's like that? Like
Bro, and
crazy.
so, bro, I got out because I was like, fuck it. I got out, right? And I told some of the kids, and he's like, what you need? And I'm like, can I get a G? He's like, well, ask people, dame. Okay, so.
What did you say?
Obviously, like, pues dame, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Dame,
okay,
you know?
okay.
Bro, and these kids are looking at, you could tell this gun gives them all this swag. They're just like, they're all like, I'm like, these pieces.
I know.
So anyhow, he comes back, throws me a G, and then he comes, hey, you're short. And he's like, and what? He's like, nah, I'm fucking with you. I'm like, you motherfucker. Bro, these kids, bro, he's like a 10-year-old kid punking me out, fam.
Oh, God, that's hilarious.
And so we get out, and now, this is the end of the story. So as we're driving out, my uncle looks over at me. He goes, you got what you want? And I said, well, I mean, whatever, bro. What is this? Let's go see what's up. He goes, I think you would get out. I said, you just...
Oh, he didn't think you would get out the
Yeah,
car?
bro. He's like, I think you were going to get out. I was like, man.
What's some whole shit, bro?
Bro, my family?
God, that's your uncle?
Yes.
See, I had an uncle
And-
that used to flip, and so he would give me bags of prime weed.
And so, and bro, this is dirt weed. I didn't find out till after we had paid it. I gave his neighbor the weed because he said his neighbor could roll it. So I gave it to his neighbor. His neighbor gave me like 2 joints of it. But obviously he probably took in a joint for himself. Whatever.
Yeah.
It was dirt weed, bro.
Yeah.
I would have to be smoking both J's to get any kind of buzz. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, whatever. I got what I paid for, right? No.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's one of my smoking stories. Don't smoke weed in Mexico if you don't buy it there.
I wonder if it's the same.
You know. Come on, you
What
got
part of Mexico is it?
Tamaulipas, Nuevo Laredo, right there.
Oh, that's the border.
Yeah, you're right across the border. That's where we're from. My mom's side.
So, a few years ago, my dad, myself, my sister, and my son went
Smoke
to...
weed in Mexico?
Well, no, we went to El Paso to meet my mom.
Chuco Town.
To meet my dad's family from, they were staying in Juarez at one point, some of them. I have 2 aunts. One of my aunts and her kids and my grandma were living in Torreon, Coahuila,
Yeah.
right? And then the other aunt was living in Juarez. So Juarez on the border of El Paso, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then everybody went to Juarez, and then we all met in El Paso. So that they could see my son. My son was like, he was a kid, he was little. It was...
weed involved in this story?
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
Alright, so on the way there, I took a glass pipe and some weed.
You in this glass pipe.
Another
He's
glass
getting
pipe.
you in trouble.
So, they call them glass dicks. Maybe that's
Well, that's for crackheads.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
But anyway, so on the way there, every once in a while when we would stop, you know what I'm saying, I would take a little hit.
Yeah.
You know, we never had no issues.
Yeah.
We got there, and then at one point, because I went with the intention that I'm not going to bring this back.
Yeah.
This pipe or the weed.
Yeah, it's a burner pipe. I'm just leaving throw it when I'm done.
Right, because coming back, you do get checked as if you were coming from Mexico.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't go to Mexico. And so, like, so that last day, you know, we smoke it, I toss it, I make sure, like, everything's good. I didn't have no skunk bags back then, or whatever, but it was all gone. And then so, now mind you, we're in my car, which was new to us, so it still had paper plates. And my dad said, like, they usually pull them over.
So they pulled your ass over.
So they pulled us over, and they searched everything.
Because they smelled the weed.
Supposedly. But I also know that they can make the dogs, like, react.
But they found nothing, right?
They found nothing.
Good.
And they were asking, like, but it was kind of weird because, you know, they had us out there, they had the dogs, and they were like, you know, did you have any tobacco? You smoke tobacco or anything like that? And I was like, nah. And then my dad was like, why are you lying? You smoke? I was like, nah, I don't smoke tobacco.
Bro, you're dead.
And then my sister said something about, like, hey, can I record? And they're like, nah, you don't need to record.
Your sister's a little...
Because this was, like, years ago, right? My son's, like, 5. And I'm just like, everybody just chill the fuck out. I have no weed. There's nothing I didn't say that.
Let them do whatever, man.
That's what I'm trying to tell them, right? And
be
so,
cool. Be cool.
And so they just asked me these questions. I'm like, no, you deny. And they let us go. But I mean, you know, it was fine. But it was, I think because of that, I think that traumatized me a little bit, whether I realized or not, because I haven't had any recently, probably because work has been kicking my ass. But I was having these dreams about crossing the border with weed. I kept having this reoccurring dream about am I gonna be able to
get? Be a mule?
Maybe
just getting my weed back in the cross. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe in another life you were trapped.
Maybe
The drugs.
Maybe.
What you got?
Oh, what, another one?
See.
Man, I'm not high right now.
What's the highest you been?
Highest I've been? Fuck. That's when I smoked a rocket. And I didn't even finish that one. Those rocket, I think.
Was I there or no?
Yeah, nah.
Was another time?
You were there when I finished one.
You weren't there for every rocket.
No, I wasn't. I know I was only there for like 1 or 2. Maybe.
First one I passed out on.
The first one we had a bunch of white boys sitting there with us.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And that one you passed out on?
Yeah.
And you had more heads on it than.
Hell yeah, we had shit, but those fools were they were lightweights apparently because they were
They
hit like
couldn't take it.
they were like yo.
So y'all were mainly the ones that were hitting it.
Yeah, me and the plug and like him and our roommate at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. We were going hard till they gave out.
I gave out. I know I did. It was like the third rocket we were able to finish.
Yeah, smoking a rocket was nice.
Yeah.
By the way, for those that don't know, a rocket is this giant pre-rolled. It's not pre-rolled.
It's a cone.
It's a cone. My bad. It's a cone,
Yeah.
but it's like it's huge.
Like a half, right?
And we fit 17 grams in that bitch.
Damn.
Yeah. That's how big it is. 17 G's. That's more than a half. 14 G's is a half. You know what I'm
The
saying?
fuck did we eat that day? Do you remember?
Probably nah. We probably just pigged out or whatever. You know, we were too high to. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, good times smoking those rockets, man. 17
so much green that I feel like we.
I remember we hotboxed the fuck out of Gilbert's car. At Gibby's car, bro. Like we smoked, I think, almost in total like 9 blunts.
Those are the times where I think when it's like them training sessions, like whenever with the plug, and it'd be like 9 blunts, and it's just like.
I remember this night because then we finished our 8th. Both of us did. And they were like, fuck.
There's no more weed.
Nah, we're like, hey, is George up?
Get more weed. That's the plug. I remember how like Romo and I would do like a whatever this is, the iPod, our podcast. We did like a tiny version of it because back then when I started smoking weed, B Real's hotboxing show on YouTube was really popular. It was popping at that time. It was this shit, right? And so obviously everybody and their mom was trying to copy it, right? Everybody was trying to go get high somewhere and record talking conversations. We tried that.
That was the predecessor to the iPod.
Yeah, basically we tried that a couple times, and it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
I obviously still needed. I was still whatever. We're still real green. You know what I'm saying? Still real green. But yeah, it was
Lost
interesting.
episodes. Is that the monkey?
Because on one of those
Something
episodes,
else.
No, that was the Monkey Hour was something. That was the first
Sports thing.
That was the first sports podcast
Okay.
I ever tried out. And I only did it for a few weeks because I don't know. You just kind of run out of things to talk about, and I felt kind of like still gun shy. I felt that I was still kind of dabbling in what I really wanted to talk about in the podcast.
Okay. I mean, shit. I think that was because like one of them has a lot of views.
I wonder which one that one was.
Probably like the first or second one or some shit.
so the Monkey Hour is a sports podcast.
Yeah, that's what I called it, the Monkey Hour.
Maybe you should bring that bitch back with.
It has like
bring it back with Diego. Like instead of now just being on Pod Sports, straight up bringing back the Monkey Hour.
I was.
Well, hold on, wait. There might not be a good name that we can use in 2021.
The Monkey Hour?
It's the Monkeys of Freightliner.
Do you put nah?
No, don't do that shit.
All right, I'm
Okay,
sorry. All right.
because
Because
you
the
know,
name was named after the Monkeys of Freightliners Fantasy Football League. That's why I called it the Monkey Hour.
There you go. There you
They were
go.
grease monkeys
Why?
in the.
Yeah, that's not
mechanics.
Yeah.
That's mechanics.
Yeah, they were mechanics. They're 18-wheeler mechanics. That's what the
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like-
My gloves are Grease Monkey brands. And that's who they're for. They're for truck
Yeah,
mechanics.
that's
they
what
got
they
me
use
some of
too.
those too.
They're
Yeah,
for truck
yeah, yeah.
mechanics.
That's what they use.
Bro, my dad got me some nice Grease Monkey gloves. They're like red and shit. My mom wore them in reverse
Ooh.
for some reason and was like getting weeds and shit. I was like, look, you fucked up.
Damn.
What are you?
Hey,
I was like,
I get them by the 12 pack if you need a pair.
really?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, wow.
eBay.
Yeah.
Line, but smoking stories? I'm trying to think. Like, you asked the time that you got the highest, and I'm trying to think. You know what I'm saying?
I got caught at Levine's because I had this portable flame vapor for weed, right? And it's like you put in the weed, and then like it's a lighter, but then it doesn't. But the flame doesn't touch the weed. So I was like hitting it and shit, and then I guess it went into the vents to the girls' restroom, and then you remember how it was set up? Like the little hallway, and then it's like the break room. It's vague, right? But anyway, there was a girl named Samantha. I don't know. She also used to work at Dollar Store, at the Dollar Store right next to it. You remember her or not? But anyway, she was like, "Man, it smelled like weed up in here."
Man, it got loud as fuck.
I'm like, "What the fuck?" And
Hey.
she smoked weed. We were cool and shit. She's like, "Man, I don't know about y'all, but it's it's all." I got caught into the office, and I was like, "Nah, what happened was I smoked before I got here."
Was it Chavez?
It wasn't Chavez. It might have been Chavez. I think it was Patty, and then I think Troy.
Troy.
Or no, it was Mitchell. It was after that.
Troy, aka Trump.
Troy was gone, but it was Mitchell, and he's the one that I kind of got into it with because his mom would always go there and not buy shit, and he got onto my homeboy who would go there and not buy shit. I was like, "But your mom's here all the time, dude." You know, it was stupid. I was done. It was time for me to move on
Yeah,
from Levine.
work drama. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
When you getting in work drama, you need to get the fuck out.
Yeah, it was time. That was a crazy experience at Levine.
Were you high?
When they called me into the office, yeah. I mean, you kind of lose your high a little bit when you
Of
get caught,
course.
right? You kind of like my friend explained it like one time. He's like, you walk through this like a void, like, and you're when you talk to the cops or something, like everything just like you walk through, and then you're good. It's weird, bro, but that's how powerful we are, and you don't realize it, but our mind is pretty powerful. If you can blow your high like that, just to fucking. One time I was smoking, and I got in an accident, but it wasn't because of the weed. It was because I was so tired.
You know, yes. Some of my favorite stories that I remember are like when people who would come over and say, "Hey, I don't mind that you guys smoke, but I'm not gonna smoke." But in the back of my mind, I'm like, "You're gonna get high because you're gonna get that secondhand high." You know what I'm saying? Because we're always, we smoke in the apartment. You know, where I used to live. You know, thank God we know how to kind of semi how to smell, cool neighbors and whatnot. But some of my favorite memories are inviting a couple coworkers over to watch. I think we were watching some fights. Homeboy was cool guy. He's like, I respect that y'all smoke weed, but I'm just gonna kick it. Like, all right. And as the night progressed, you could see this guy just kind of like relax a little more. You know what I'm saying? His eyes would start. He would laugh a little slower.
Wait, was I here that time? I was here for one of the times.
This was years ago.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, that was years
but
ago.
this was the old apartment.
Yeah.
The old
Okay.
But
Well, it was the older part. I think I kicked it one time. We tried to watch a fight.
Yeah.
With Kevin, I think.
Kevin, what?
No, it wasn't Kevin.
That-
It was
like two
Mike?
dudes
Ness
there.
Colby.
Mike. Yeah,
no,
Mike.
not Mike.
Yes, it was because that was the time where we asked if he wanted to play chess. He was like, "Bro, right now I'm just not in chess mode." I'm like,
Okay, it was Mike, and then there was a Hispanic dude too,
Mike
though.
can't bite you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, was it Diaz?
It was
Right,
Diaz.
Big hair?
Right there.
Curly
Big
hair?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's skinny, right?
Nah, he is
Okay,
skinny.
but then there was a skinny Mexican too. I feel like.
Another one too.
Yeah.
How many people did we have? The Odd Pod and
It,
I don't
it
know
was
if
it was
Kevin-
for a fight, so
our
it was,
squads have been pretty small.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kevin was there.
Maybe you
I
were
feel
just
like
not.
I feel like I met Kevin, bro.
You met
I feel like I
Kevin
met
once.
Kevin and Diaz at the same time.
Yeah, you did because Kevin and Diaz are part of the TBH squad.
Right.
Tacos before hoes.
And I think they were there with Mike too for the fight.
Yeah,
It was like a fight night.
yeah. Okay, I think you.
Yeah.
You had to leave a little early. You just stayed
Me?
all night. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I
Yeah,
stayed like
I
that.
think you dipped out eventually.
Something like that.
I'm starting to vaguely remember.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But we were high as fuck.
but it was nice getting people high like that. You know, I've done it. We've
Yeah.
done it a few times. You know,
Yeah, my uncle one time got high and he denied it. But we were hotboxing in his car. He was fucked.
Bro, I remember this one time when I first started smoking weed, and that same uncle, remember who I told the story about Mexico drove me to this back alley? He was here, so we're here, and then we're at my mom's house, and my mom was cool. She was like, okay, if you're gonna smoke that shit, you better smoke it outside, and there's when I be complaining, or I'm gonna get your ass, right? So I waited till like, me and my uncle would drink, you know, my uncle was still a drinker back then. So and he was the uncle who I've been drinking with since I would start drinking. So he would come over, we would buy like a 12-pack, 24-pack, and we would just...
How much older is he than you?
A lot. He's like 30 years older than me. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
he's not, yeah, no, I don't have, yeah, my fam,
Because my uncle that like one time he bought me beer and I threw it in my trash can and my dad found it when he got back and he went to Walmart and said, check the cameras, who bought my
Yeah.
son beer?
yeah.
And it was like
Yeah,
uncle,
nah,
but he had,
my mom and brother are like this, you know. She knew that I was drinking alcohol
Okay.
since forever. You know what I'm
But
saying?
mine was only like a few years older than me.
Yeah. No, my uncle's way older than me, you know. You know. But anyhow, so one time he's out there drinking, and I'm out there trying to light this J that someone had packed for me, right? It was a cone that someone had packed and rolled. And I remember trying to light it. I was still, bro, you know, sometimes when you're young, you don't realize that J, you know, the blunts and J's light different, right?
Correct.
You got to torch a blunt sometimes because, you know, it burns
Yeah.
slower. You don't torch a fucking J or you're
Right.
gonna
Yeah,
fucking,
you gotta be dead.
you're gonna burn the whole thing.
Right.
So that's what I did. I burnt the whole thing. So I'm trying to hit it, and I'm getting, bro. I'm a rookie, bro. I'm getting crazy ripped. I'm choking, and bro, this smoke is probably going everywhere. And my uncle was sitting like probably right there where y'all are, just sitting there drinking his beer. He's like, damn. He's like, you know, to him, he's like, damn, that's what getting high is, huh? And I'm like, yeah, you know, yeah, you know. So I'm still gonna put this J out that I'm obviously not gonna be able to finish. I'm dying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was not even a king size, bro. A little regular one.
Yeah.
I was such a rookie. It was already torched. I might as well just throw it away. But I put it down, and like 10 minutes later, bro, my uncle's just looking at me, right? He's like, bro, you know what I fucking see right now? And I was like, what? He's like, I see like a halo around you. And I'm like, man, this fool, he's not drunk. He's high now. That second, all that smoke that I had expelled from that burnt up J had probably gone into him.
Yeah.
And this is an old Mexican that just drinks his whole life. He don't smoke weed, none of that other shit, bro.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he caught that high real quick.
Interesting.
And that was pretty fun watching him, you know, like just be high for this, not even know what's up, kind of like, damn. And that was it.
Yeah, that's true. Seeing people that don't usually get high is an interesting thing.
It is.
Like I guess you could say I introduced my wife to marijuanas. So watching her, you know, go through her little stages was kind of interesting. You know?
She skipped a few stages though, but you know.
She went straight to a bowl. No, just kidding.
Yeah, it's like you said. You asked me if I had anything other than Kush. Like, no, I got lucky. All I had was Kush.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All she had was the finest of smoking products available.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she
You
had
know, we're blessed. You know, we're blessed. We got good quality shit. You know what I'm
Cause
saying?
I started off with Reggie and aluminum foil pipes and shit.
Bro, I remember I have a done smoking story about my simping smoking days. I met this girl when I was 19, and man, she was fine, but she was also like, you know, she was the first girl I met that smoked weed. You know, and I remember that's how I met her. Me and my homie picked her up at his graduation party, and she was on the back, and she started rolling the J. You know what I'm saying? She was shitty at it. Now looking back, I realized she didn't know what she was doing. She was trying to be cool, right?
Yeah.
But whatever, we smoked this shit. And to me, I was getting high. That I think was Reggie. I remember I let this bitch drive my truck. I let this bitch drive my mama's truck. I let this bitch like drop me off at work and take my truck around, for the 12 hours that I was at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I was such a dumbass. I don't know. I guarantee you she was doing some shady ass shit because she turned out to be a hoe. You know what I'm saying?
Was her name? No, just kidding.
No. They called her Flaca.
I know Flaca.
Oh, everybody knows that bitch, bro. Shit,
There's like 10 Flacas.
Yeah, I know, right? Nah, you know this one, bro. She used to wear a bandana for a belt. That's how skinny she was. Like she could wrap it around you.
But see, I know a few girls that would do that shit though. Well, no, bandana. Damn, she was fucking tiny.
But anyhow, like I would go get high with her no matter what. Like like I remember I took her to where we lived at the time in Nevada. Apparently you can't call it Nevada because even though it's spelled the same fucking way. But when my family had a pad out there. And we didn't have it. She wanted to smoke, and I'm like, I don't have anything. I'm sorry, like a little bitch, I don't know anything. And she was like, do you have a coke can? So I go in there, get a coke can, empty that bitch out, and then she posed. This is the first time I ever seen it done. He's smoking out of a coke can in the back out there in Nevada, Texas, wide open area and shit. It was pretty interesting, to get high.
So she went with you to see your family over there?
Nah,
you had a house over there?
Yeah.
You had 2 houses?
Back then we had,
one.
There was my mom. The dudes my mom.
I didn't know about this.
The dudes my mom knew had good money. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Like when I say my mom's truck, that truck was a truck that like they just throw at me. You know what I'm saying? Like here, take this truck.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, the can. That was actually. But I was gonna say before I even think about that. Mixing puberty girls and weed. It is like a confusing time.
With her, I remember that was the first time I got so high that everything. The first time it was in slow motion all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That was. I remember we were driving, and Nevada's just open. You know what I'm saying? Open. So you could drive for a good while. You won't see shit but country and the water hot towers or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember there was at one point where we hit it, and I just started like slow motion, like everything got like just. It was pretty cool. I'm glad I was not driving. I'm glad she was doing the driving at the time.
Yeah.
And and then I only fucked with her for like a month, but man, like there's a lot of dumb shit that we did. Like I remember this one time we were at a stoplight, and this old guy, he whatever. I guess we were just being young and stupid, right? Like we saw this old guy in his car, and he was stopped at a red light, and we get next to him. We get next to him and we just look over and we just kind of like start smirking, like just laughing, like bro, we're some assholes. Like I said, what the fuck are we thinking, right?
What were y'all laughing?
So we were high and stupid.
Yeah.
We were like, hey, look at this dumb. So we go at the green light, we take off, and then we end up going to a little neighborhood, and then we get to a stop sign, and who pulls up next to us, all red, all mean muggers and shit? Like this old man followed us, bro. He pulls up and says, hey, you stupid kids. Who you think you are coming around here talking, you know what I'm saying? And, bro, we being here, we give each other that look, and we just go, fuck you, and then we burn off, Bro, we could have hit a fucking car. Man. See, that was a smoking story. See, I got so high, I was following this demon girl, you know what I'm saying? It was just all making me do all kinds of bad shit. But I was feeling, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. My dumb ass was like, fuck it. I was getting what I wanted out of her. Little did I know she was getting what she wanted out of me. This chick was, she was a hoe.
I did sneak a corn cob pipe on a plane.
Corn cob pipe.
How the fuck were you able to do that?
Why didn't you just eat an edible?
Because I was like 15.
First off, you would eat the weed and
So I drove to St. Louis, right?
With the weed in it?
Like,
It was weed. You had a weed too, or you had the pipe?
I put it. Okay, so I got dropped off in St. Louis.
But you had the weed with you too on the plane?
And I had to. No, I was driving, but then coming back, I think. I don't know, man. I'm confused now.
So what are you saying? You saying you had weed on the plane?
Somehow. No, I don't know if I had the weed or just the pipe.
So what's the story?
Why would I just have the pipe?
Where's the smoking involved in this? If you have no weed.
All right, well, here's a smoking story. I went to St. Louis, right? I was staying there for like a week. I ran out of my own weed, my good weed, my Dallas weed. And then I was like, hey, man, I told my cousin, the one who lives here now.
See.
And he has a podcast.
See.
Shout out to Stevie J.
See.
And,
Know It All?
We, shout out to the new Know It All podcast that y'all got, me and my uncle.
Family thing, huh?
Yeah, man, I know it all too, bro. I told that to a kid, she's like, how'd you know something? I was like,
I know it all.
Because I was tired, I know everything.
Yeah, play, yeah.
What?
No.
Anyway, so we went to go get some, like he called some Connect, and we got this sack. Bro, there was like a nut hair in there.
Whoa, what are you? Whoa,
Like a
whoa.
ball hair.
Whoa.
It was so
Whoa.
disrespectful, bro.
This
It was
is-
like
this
seeds
is-
and shit.
What?
That was like the worst sack I
Bro,
ever
what
got.
This
the
is like
hell?
the Bobby Lee story you're telling me right
That's
now.
the worst sack of weed I ever got. And so I was like traumatized from St. Louis weed. I was like, ah.
Can't believe it.
And I still had to like smoke that shit. 'Cause
Oh, you smoked the ball hair kush?
yeah, I took the ball
That's
hair.
fucking
And it wasn't even
nasty.
kush, bro. It wasn't
Damn,
kush.
you
It wasn't
smoked
kush
the
back
you
then.
smoked the ball hair Reggie.
Maybe corn.
Damn, you smoked that dirt ball hair. Dirt. What's that? It's probably
It was-
cheesy too.
Oh.
You did it. You smoked it.
Yeah, bro. And to the point where I ran out so much. I ran out of that, right? And I was like, I'm not trying to buy no more bullshit. And then my cousin had he used to smoke weed, right? So I was like looking around his room and I found this box and it had like some seeds and shit, like a little bit of weed. So I just scraped that shit up and smoked. I smoked fucking tar, not tar, but you know,
Man.
like if you break a
Now you're
pipe,
telling your weed peasant stories.
shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Like where you smoke like the residue.
Oh God.
Ooh, that shit fuck you up, but it's just carcinogenic.
Yeah, bro. You're literally just throwing.
Poison.
You might as well go get the COVID instead.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Wow.
you ever do this? When you get fucking high, you go start quote unquote organizing or you know,
Yeah.
and then when you get unhigh, you don't remember how your high self organized that thing or where you put it.
Yeah.
You basically
I've done
put
that.
basically put a prank on yourself.
Like,
Yeah.
I remember the ergonomic mouse you bought me, and the day that we smoked the rocket, I reorganized a lot of shit in my room when I went home.
He's like, "Oh, this is the best spot for it. I'll never forget it's here."
No,
This is
I
safe for
found the
kids'
mouse.
home.
I found the mouse. I can, for the fucking likes of me, I cannot find the goddamn charger to it. And it's a rechargeable one, so you can't just put batteries in it. So
Yeah.
I have been trying to find this guy because I didn't throw it away. It's in a box, and that box is somewhere, and I don't know where the fuck the box is, and I don't remember what it looks like.
See, that's how it be.
Dang.
You do that, Chris. You don't be cleaning and shit. You be like, man, I forgot where I did this. So I put this thing I organized. quote, unquote.
I rarely clean.
You know what's one? No, there was one thing I found, and I remember losing, and I found it behind my bookshelf, and it was my debit card.
Damn, that's the worst.
How's it behind you?
Because I was hiding it from my nephew because he wanted fucking something, and I was taking a nap. And I was so high, I left it back there. I was like,
Yeah, when you stash
The
it when you're
fuck?
high, man, you might as well just say you're hiding it from yourself. You know? This is
Yeah.
and I didn't realize it was back there until I was moving books, and I looked. Why the fuck is my debit? Oh, I remember.
Man,
Yeah.
one time I found a zip of marijuana in one of my duffel bags, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, and apparently I'm like, I was thinking back to what my high self thought. I was like, well, here's a good spot to put it. You know, you have to open it. You know, but it's not out. But I didn't remind myself that I had that zip when I was unhigh. So
I think I do it so much that I can't even think of a particular time. Cause I kind of do that shit all the time. So I kind of avoid that shit. So like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put my glasses here. I have to put it in specific places so I don't do that anymore. It took me years to figure that shit out. I gotta put my wallet in here. Cause otherwise it'd be like, and then I gotta like go back. But sometimes I'll put like my keys on a certain place where I'm like, oh, this makes sense. And then I won't be able to find it.
I literally tossed my room upside down because I fucking put
Yes.
my keys somewhere.
Yes.
It's right in front of me.
Yes.
And you know, when I get high and go to the grocery store, all of a sudden, in every aisle, I start thinking, man, this would be a good idea. I'll be in the pasta aisle, like, man, you know what? I should make some lasagna someday. Oh,
That's
man,
the
you
worst
know what?
thing. You don't go to the grocery store high and hungry.
Yeah, hungry for sure.
And then
You buy everything like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I remember I was hugging a big ass bag of hot fries one time. And I just like held in my arms like it was something sacred to myself.
Damn.
I remember one time I think it was I was with two cousins, Ed and Noe, and I think we went to like Applebee's or something, and we were so high that we just kept giggling. Like it was one of those annoying. Like I'm sure everybody else was like, "What the fuck," you know? But we were like, everything was hilarious. Everything.
I love that high.
Yes,
yeah.
bro. We were just. It was amazing.
Bro,
We
I
were eating
remember,
and
bro.
shit. Everything was
Yeah.
just fucking hilarious.
It's ever you ever gotten high with your homie and like in tandem you just look at each other and just start laughing?
Yes.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
And then, but then I've had points where I've like, there's sometimes you smoke with a person who's not used to it, and then they're kind of annoying, right? Have you ever had that? Or
Like,
no?
give me an example.
Like I had this coworker who's a real good dude and whatever, but he wasn't used to smoking weed, or at least the grade that I
Like the
was.
people
smoking.
start telling the depression stories.
Nah, he would just get annoying to me. Like he would start talking shit about shit. I'm like, nigga, shut the fuck up. Like Like, like I couldn't figure out how to do the thing, right? And then my son did it, like this thing on these blinds or something. I was doing something. He's like, even your son can do it and you can't, or something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying, right?
Yeah, and then it just certain things. And
now you got me wondering if I'll be like that sometimes.
No, y'all aren't like that. He was like a particular person to the point where I'm like, I don't really want to smoke with him no more. There's some people that
I've been there where there's people I don't want to smoke with.
Right.
I cut a lot of people off. Yeah, it was like, fuck you, bro. You a piece of shit. I don't like you.
But because of how they are when they're high, or just because that's how they are as a person? Because he was a great person.
Yeah.
I just didn't like how he was when he was high. He just didn't fit him.
I feel you.
Some people it fits, some people it just doesn't fit.
Yeah, like there's some homies I knew that they were really cool as a person, but when they would get drunk, they were just fucking dicks.
That was me. That was me. I was annoying as fuck as a drunk. And I was like a burden. Luckily, I was a light burden. I mean, I could just be, I was skinny.
Luckily, I can maintain my shit. I'm pretty chill. Except when I drank Hennessy for the first time.
Oh, that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
That's drinking part 4 or something.
Yeah,
We did like
right.
a couple drinking ones.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that's pretty good. That was a lot of smoking stories.
Really? How long we been doing this?
I don't know. I'm kind of
50 minutes.
Dang.
Son,
I mean,
alright.
this,
That's a good podcast.
Yeah.
What's that, 70 what?
Smoke some beat, 7-6.
Already. 76.
Peace.
Smoking stories.
Yeah.
Might be the first of many, right?
Hell
Yeah,
yeah. I'll start writing down some.
Yeah.